Alrighty guys, so here is this week's grocery haul. It is from Michael and it was $100. So I'm gonna start off on this side with the produce.
I was looking at a video today from this lady I've known on here for about 11 years. And I'll get to that video all the way towards the end. But what she did today reminded me of a brief exchange I had with her on her comment board back in August 2020. She did this other video too, I think it was in November last year. It had the word starving in the title. When she was sitting in the parking lot of this grocery store, and she's doing her usual complaining about how unmanageable life is, and not just for herself, but she complains on everybody's behalf. And she says she just spent over $100, just over $100. Then she panned the camera to the back seat to show what she bought, and I said to myself, you need your ass kicked all the way back there to where you landed in that seat back there where them groceries sitting at. Because ain't no way you supposed to be able to carry $100 worth of groceries out of there with two hands. $100 worth of groceries is supposed to require a basket to carry it out. But there was only 3 or 4 bags in that back seat, and one of those bags was a bag of dog food. All that complaining about being a working slave she does, and you got a dog too? I don't have a dog. Can I afford a dog? Yes. Do I want to afford a dog? No. Now she's one of these anti-capitalism people. The establishment, we need a living wage, free health care, college should be free, one of them. And like I said, I've known her for about 11 years. I remember her going to college and she used to work, she used to be at work doing videos, I think as a janitor, complaining about her job and her college debt. On December 23rd, 2020, she does this video, and at the 6-minute 30-second mark, after complaining that she makes less than $30,000 a year, she says that this is why you need a second and third job and a second and third side hustles. Then she goes on to say it's really sad how capitalism is essentially a cesspool and we're never going anywhere in it. When she was in this parking lot, she says she tries to eat healthy. Organic, she said. Translation: she goes to the most expensive stores and buys the most expensive things in it. I forgot the name of the store she said she was shopping at, but it don't matter because translation: she too good to always shop at Ralph's or Vons or the dollar stores, or she does go to these stores but shops for only costly stuff. Now, when she said the thing about capitalism being a cesspool, I rewinded it to get what she said verbatim. And when I did that, I noticed something in her hand that I didn't notice at first. And it was a cigarette lighter. What is the lighter for? Well, it's because she smokes weed, and she drinks, and she has a dog, and shops expensive. She was smoking weed in that grocery store parking lot too. In expense, but it's capitalism's fault. Now, she's a female who's been undergoing the transformation to take on the appearance of being a male. She has a beard now and everything. I saw her go from humongous jugs to, itty bitties after her breast reduction surgeries. In one of the videos, she was in the mirror with bags on to let the blood drain in the bags from one of her breast surgeries. Probably why she thinks healthcare should be for free along with all else in life. Now, I know this sounds like I'm just looking to put her down on how she lives her life, but I don't do videos like that. Only on special occasions, and, this ain't one of them. Here's why I've been talking about her life. Now, she's one of these we need a living wage people. There are videos on her channel talking about how minimum wage needs to be $15 an hour. Here's a clip from the video she did today.
What's going on, y'all? Site Perspectives, GeoFugs, and let's talk about it. Minimum wage. There's discussion of minimum wage being increased federally to $15 an hour. I personally support it. Here's the thing, though. We needed $15 an hour 10 years ago. It's 2021. Really, if our minimum wage stayed on track with the cost of living and inflation since the late 60s, roughly since 1968, it is now 2021. Okay, so roughly 53 years. Okay, if our minimum wage would have stayed on track with the cost of living and inflation since the late 60s, 1968 roughly, so 53 years, 5 decades, okay, half a century, our minimum wage should be $23 an hour, because people are already making $15 an hour, living paycheck to paycheck, barely making ends meet, going without suffering. People are required to work 2 and 3 jobs, have some type of second or third side hustle. People have to do a lot to barely make money. And it's absolutely ridiculous when you sit down and think about it. Now, this is being proposed by President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris, with the Democrats
already complaining about how $15 ain't enough. Later in that video, she demands that companies start paying people $23 an hour. And this is why I was talking about how she lives her life, and why I've done all these other videos about people who try to make capitalism the villain we need to kill so we can go on living happily ever after. The brief exchange I had with her last year on her comment board, she was complaining about life's expenses and she was blaming capitalism and big businesses. So I told her that our expenses are due to the choices we make. And she didn't appreciate me saying that.